Today, let's learn how to make a bamboo woven ring. To start, prepare a 35 centimeter long strip of boiled bamboo, 1 5 millimeters wide and 0.2 millimeters thick. First, wrap the strip around, ensuring that the short side is at the bottom and the long side is at the top, with the short side pointing to the right. Then, wrap another circle, making sure the short side is in the middle of the two sides. Now, it's time to start threading through. Let's begin by piercing through the loop on the left side. After piercing through, the two loops will cross over each other, with the left loop moving under the right loop. Once the crossover is done, we will switch our attention to the loop on the right side. We will repeat this process 2 more times, with the third piercing happening at this exact spot. The challenge of looping. We observed that we selected one side and passed through it. Then we followed its path and reached a cross intersection where we had to make a leap to a new position. Repeated this process 3 times. On the first leap, we passed through the same side as before and continued following its path. When we arrived at the next position, it was the second leap. Finally, for the third leap, we identified the joint position and made a jump to that location. Safety is our top priority when choosing the position of the boat. Let's search for the approximate location. We have 4 sides here. Now there are 4 sides, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, and each pair intersects like a cross. It is crucial for us to carefully observe and navigate to this specific location. We may need to make slight adjustments during the first 3 attempts to find the right spot. Once we find it, the 4 sides will separate, leaving 2 on the left and 2 on the right, still forming a cross shape. We will then jump through this opening. After that, we have 2 more strands, one on the left and one on the right, forming a cross shape. We need to jump through them here. Finally, we locate the top part. We jump to this position, and voila, a simple main loop is almost done. Let's take a look at it. Then we can trim off the excess length of the desktop. We can hide it here and give it a quick tidy up. Now, let's take another look.
Tutorial for making a flower bone hair accessory. We will use 2 beads for this. Shake 2 groups of 6 beads, and they should be in opposite directions. This is what it looks like. After making these 2 circles, you can directly thread them. You can use either one of the 2 threads to thread from here to the bottom. It's very simple to thread it to this side. You will know how to do it at first sight. Thread it through here and come out on the other side. Okay. From this right side, it forms a crossed waist inside, and the left one just thread it second. Start threading from the right side according to the new interval, and you're done. After threading, it presses here. See that there is no place to press, and it forms another cross, right? You continue to thread. And in this way, you will reach the third crossing. After threading here, it will be filled with a string enough to buy a box of oil. There is a mystery here. This braid is now crossing in front again, with the left side pressing the right side. So now you thread from the left side to open a clear soup and give me a clear thread. As for the right side, just thread along. After dismantling, it forms a 1+1 effect. All the patterns are revealed at once. See? In other words, when you look at this bamboo strip, you must open it a little softer, if you are lucky. Otherwise, when it hits this bamboo node, when you pull it a little bit, it may break. When you finish threading the last circle at the end, there are two facing each other here. When you thread it through, you need to separate them and put them in the middle like this. The effect that comes out will be a thread pressing another thread, so that will be no repetition. Each one is a thread pressing another thread. We have threaded all of these, and there is no place to thread anymore. So we cut off the excess and insert it onto the same line to press it down. How long is your hair? After it becomes crossed, cover it up and cover it with oil. I'm talking about materials. It won't show on the outside. It's the same on this side. Follow the original threading point. It's like packaging it and sending it in. This is how I do it. I have put everything in. This way, a hair accessory is completed. Look at both sides. It's between the threads. Both sides are the same. This is a tutorial, so it may not be as sturdy. It looks a bit loose. If you want it to be sturdy, when you thread each thread, hold it tight and keep pulling it, and then tighten the ends of the two threads, so that it won't appear bulging. We have flower bones at home, like bracelets. If you like the editor, you can try making one. It's actually quite interesting. You can have a small ring for yourself. If you like it, give it a thumbs up.
How to make bamboo rings and earrings. Start by looping the bamboo strip around once, with the loose end going towards your hand. Okay, pinch the strip in the same way for the second loop and insert it into the first loop. After inserting it, bring the loose end and tuck it in here. Play with the direction of this end for the third round. For the second loop, okay, this completes the first loop. Thread it out in this direction. Follow this path. Thread it down here. For the third loop, insert it in between these two strands. Insert it in between these two strands. Tie the two ends together at the starting point. Tie a knot. Cut off the excess small string. In undoubtedly, now, the piece is complete. The size of the accessory can be adjusted according to personal preference. The smallest one can be made using a bamboo strip that is around 34 millimeters thick. 9根子。从哪根子是？